Good afternoon. I am Ifeoluwa Shamo. Earlier on, we talked about pre-independence constitution. Right now, we shall be dealing with post-independence constitution. And what do I mean by that? These were constitutions that were promulgated after independence. And we have the 1963 constitution, the 1979 constitution, and the 1999 constitution. Now, it's important to know that the 1999 constitution still subsists till date. Now, due to the fundamental derogations from Nigerian sovereignty, that is, the 1960 constitution, there were in the 1960 constitution there were derogations from Nigerian sovereignty, and it didn't actually um, embody the basis for which that constitution was made. The British Queen was still the head of state, with the Governor General as a representative, and um, it was because of this that the 1963 Constitution was enacted, and which brought other further constitutional developments in Nigeria. Now let's talk about 1963 Constitution. It was regarded as a Republican Constitution. Now, which in the sense that the Constitution established Nigeria's first republic under a parliamentary government, and it replaced the Governor General appointed by the British monarch with a president duly elected by members of the Nigerian Federal Legislature. In addition, the Supreme Court also was designated as the final appellate judicial authority, replacing the Privy Council like we had in the 1960 Constitution. Now, after the 1963 Constitution, there were a series of military coups, and the Constitution was sidelined. It became ineffective during the military rule that spanned from 1960 from the 1960s into the 1970s, and in 1979 there was a new democratically elected government, and it brought a new constitution which is known as the 1979 presidential constitution. Now the 1979 constitution was noted for preserving was noted for introducing the presidential system of government. As this it established the office of the president, duly elected by the Nigerian populace. It also established a federal government, 19 state governments, a federal capital territory, three arms of government, and three levels of government. The constitution also established the Council of State, which was headed by the president, the vice president, all past presidents, head of states, all former chief justices of Nigeria, senate president, speaker, and all state governors. It should be noted that the Council of State still exists till date. The Constitution also made whoever became president the commander in chief of the armed forces. That is another notable feature of that Constitution. And after the 1979 Constitution subsisted for about 5 years before there was another military coup, and the military came into power, and there was we had military government down into the 90s, and by 1999 there was a new democratically elected government, and we now have the 1999 constitution. Now, what features does the 1999 constitution add? One is that it preserved the presidential system of government. The it stated that the president and the governors are to be elected for a fixed term of office. It also retained the fixed term of office for political offices. The fundamental human rights were enshrined in the 1999 Constitution. The Constitution also recognized separation of powers between organs, and it also recognized the principle of checks and balances. Now, federal character was also introduced into the Constitution. This is to ensure that the principle that all public service institutions fairly reflect the linguistic, religious, ethnic, and geographical diversity of the country. So it's not like you have a situation whereby one part of the country is enjoying or um, more political advantage than the other regions of the country. So the institution the Constitution, the 1990 Constitution, tried as much as possible to make sure that the federal character of Nigeria is maintained, and it was it did that was done by having it enshrined in the 1999 Constitution. Yeah, thank you for your time. I hope